Hello and welcome to Channels Book Club. My name is Olakunle Kasumo, and it's great to be on the show again this week. The excellent life. Imagine we can live the excellent life. Excellence means success. Excellence means being impactful. Excellence means having and providing value to people all around us. Well, that's what this week is about. We've got a new book, The Excellent Life Series, written by a woman who is amiable, energetic, bubbly, and very accomplished. I'm going to allow this introduction to get you to meet with her and then enjoy the conversation digging into this book. This is a book that you absolutely have to read if you mean business about becoming an excellent person. Enjoy this.
Bola Matel-Okoh is a lawyer, banker, certified executive coach, realtor, podcaster, and author. Matel-Okoh holds an LLB honors degree in law from the Olabisi Onabanjo University and has been admitted to the Nigerian bar as well as the New York State Bar. She's also an alumnus of Wechau School of Real Estate, New Jersey, USA, IMD Lausanne, Switzerland, and Harvard Business School, Boston, USA. Her legal experience, which spans over 30 years, encompasses areas of admiralty law, banking law, and immigration law, amongst others. Matel-Okoh is the Chief Executive Officer of Havila Ventures and the host of Excellent Life podcast. She joins Channels Book Club to discuss her book, The Excellent Life Series.
BMO.
Yes.
Welcome to Channels Book Club.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited and I'm humbled.
It's great to have you here. That's what everybody calls you, right?
BMO. Coach BMO. It's so interesting that people started calling me Coach BMO after I became an executive coach. But before that, I'm also a pastor, so people call me PB.
PB.
Which is Pastor B. Yes.
Okay, so now let's get this. Pastor, executive coach,
Yes.
entrepreneur.
Yes, so I describe myself as a pastor by calling, a lawyer by training, because I do have a law degree.
I'm getting there. Pastor, lawyer, executive coach, entrepreneur.
Non-executive director.
Non-executive director.
Board of Wema Bank.
Of a big
PLC.
company, yeah.
Yes.
Writer. Author. Podcaster.
Podcaster.
Wife, mother.
Wife, mother, yes. Sister, friend. Yes. Oh my God.
How in the world do you live this life? I mean, how do you live?
Grace. That's what I say. You know, grace. I'm a big recipient of grace, and I kind of just allow God to help me in all these different areas of my life. I always say that one of my passions is work-life balance, and there are times that work will, have to take a back burner, and other things are in the forefront. So I just kind of, at any point in time, at any season of my life, try and do the very best to make sure I have some level of balance in my life, honestly.
What tip are you giving somebody who is looking for that kind of balance? Because a lot of people can find it.
Well, there's always this question they ask, and I think they only ask women, which is not fair. They always ask, can we have it all? And I always say that you can have it all, but at what price? Because at every season of your life that you're looking to accomplish something, there's always something you have to give up. So for me, there are things I'm doing now that I couldn't do 20 years ago because my children were really young and I didn't have the time to commit to do it. And so I always say to people, recognize the season of your life. When you recognize the season of your life, then you will not be too hard on yourself and you will just do what you're able to do in that season.
Wow. Okay, so how do you... Anyway, I'll come back to that later on. I'll come back to that later on. Let's face this. I mean, because a lot of what I'm asking you to share actually here.
It's in the book.
Yeah.
Yes, it's in the
book. The
book.
Excellent Life Series.
Volume 1.
Volume 1, which indicates that there are other volumes coming up.
Yes.
What's the story behind this? And what will the viewer out there who is keen or who is curious find in here?
Okay, so the inspiration to write my book actually stems from a podcast I also have. I have a podcast called The Excellent Life podcast. And that podcast actually came about during COVID, because like I said, I have a very busy lifestyle, traveling up and down. But during COVID, I had a moment to pause. And there was so much going on in the world at the time. People were dying, people were losing hope and all that. And I said to myself that, would it not be great to be a channel of inspiration and hope and a beacon of hope, which is what I always tell myself every day. I want to be a beacon of hope to anyone I meet. So I started thinking, I've always thought about doing a podcast. So I started to think about it, and I came up with the Excellent Life podcast. So I started the podcast. That was the February. We were still somewhat in the middle of COVID then. I started the podcast. And I remember one day I sent it out to a pastor friend of mine. And then he sent me a message, and it was, I have a thought. It would be great for you to actually put all these episodes of your podcast into a book.
Into a book.
And I was like, oh, really? I never really thought about that, And at that point, I was getting ready to launch this pet initiative called Women's Lifestyle Hope. And I made the mistake to say to my coach that, somebody actually suggested that I put the podcast in a book. And as soon as I said, it was like, oh, my God, that's a wonderful idea. We're going to do it. And then we launched it with the Women's Lifestyle Hope. And I ended up writing the book in 2 months, believe it or not.
Whoa.
Yes. I ended up writing it 2 months because this was in October and the launch was supposed to be in December. So I ended up writing it. But it's something I'm really proud about. And I'm also proud about the fact that a lot of people have said to me, I'm inspired by this book. Because really that was my vision when I wrote the book, to be able to inspire, even if it's one person. So, yeah.
Okay, let's provide some teasers.
Yes.
Let's provide some
I love
teasers.
Because it keeps you wanting more.
Yeah.
So let's give them just enough so that they'll be like, oh my God, I have to go get the book.
Okay.
Wow.
So you've got how many chapters in here?
So this is 10 chapters. So
10
basically
chapters.
in season 1 of the Excellent Life podcast, I had 22 episodes, but 10 were my solo episodes. So I also had guests. So that's why I say volume 2, because volume 2 is actually the Excellent Life series Conversations, and that would be, the episodes that I had with guests. Yes. So this is the 10 solo episodes from season 1.
Okay.
And every one of them, is special to me in some way. I know you have your special.
Oh, yeah, I have my favorite. I'm going to talk about my favorite. The first chapter is Created for Excellence.
Created for Excellence.
That's where you defined excellence.
Yes, because I always say that, I'm a pastor, of course, so that means I'm a person of faith. And the Bible tells me that God is excellent. And I always say that as a child of God, anything less than excellence is actually an anomaly. Because Bible says
anything less than excellence
is an anomaly as a child of God. Because God is excellent, and the Bible says we were created in the image and likeness of God. And so in chapter 1, I talk about the fact that the seed, the DNA of God is in us, which is the seed of greatness and excellence. So that's what chapter 1 is about, that you are created for excellence. Yes.
The Excellent Life series. What did you define as excellence? I marked here, excellence means striving to be the best you can be and do the very best
with what you have
you can do.
At any point in time, yes.
So the yardstick for excellence is your personal potential.
Your potential and your commitment.
Is that correct?
Your potential and your commitment.
Your potential and your commitment.
Because some people have potential, but they are not committed to that potential, and so they will never really they will never operate at their optimal best. And I give you an example. For instance, if I haven't made the seed to be a writer, to be an author, but I never write a book, so I have not lived an excellent life, because even though I have the potential to do something, I have not been committed enough to do it and to accomplish that goal.
So if I can hit here, but I'm here, I'm not yet excellent.
No. Excellence is really doing your very best with what you have at any point in time. And it always reminds me of that parable that Jesus told about the talents, because many times what keeps people from excellence is the fact that they think, I only have little. But it's not really about what you have. It's about what you do with what you have. That's what excellence is about. It's what you do with what you have. And I tell the story. I talk about this quote from Martin Luther King Jr., where he talks about a street sweeper. And he said, if you've been called to be a street sweeper, sweep the way Shakespeare wrote poetry, sweep the way Michelangelo painted, sweep the way Beethoven composed music. So because a street sweeper, to many people, will be the list of jobs you could do. But it's not about what you're doing. It's about your attitude, your commitment, and your drive to excel at doing it.
Now, you said excellent life. I mean, life.
Yes.
And we spoke earlier about, for example, the various aspects of your life, motherhood, marriage, entrepreneurship, writing, etc., etc. The excellent life. So are we expected to be excellent in all areas of life? And can we achieve that?
Like I said, you have seasons in your life. So there are times that your energy in any season is directed towards just one area of your life.
Yeah.
But my mantra is that whatever the season of your life, whatever you're directing your energy to at that point in time, do it excellently. Do it excellently. So that's really it. So whether it's like, because if you look at my life, there are times that being a mother has been the more focal part of my life. Because when my children were obviously very little, I mean, I couldn't be running all over the place doing what I'm doing now. But even then, I decided, you know what, I'm going to be the best mom I can be to my children. When I got married, before I had children, my commitment was that I'm going to be the best wife I can be to my husband. So it's all about, you know, whatever area of your life you are focusing on at any particular
point in time,
just making sure you do your very best in that area of your life.
Commitment. You wrote here, living the excellent life is a commitment to do your absolute best, no matter who is looking, and no matter how mundane the task at hand is.
Yes, because like I said, at times people think that I only have to excel when people see me. I give an example. I have 3 boys. So when they were growing up, I would make sure they wake up in the morning and make their bed. And they would be like, "Oh, Mommy, why do I have to make my bed? Nobody sees my room. And anyway, it's my room." And I say, "But you know what? It's not about whether anybody sees what you're doing. It's about the fact and the commitment to excel, whether anybody even sees it." You know, I mean, nobody's going to come into your room, but... And with time, they kind of got it. And now they do it even without me having to ask them to do it. You know, because we practice excellence. So, you know, we do little things, and the more we practice, is like they say, practice makes perfect. So the more you practice excellence, the more you will become an excellent person.
And then in this chapter you wrote about you must live a life of purpose.
Yes.
You must live intentionally, make a definite plan of action, and so on. And then I noticed also that you have affirmations at the end of each chapter.
Yes. So affirmations, when I started the podcast and I recorded the first episode, and in my heart, I just was stirred to put the affirmations, because the thing about affirmations is that they work on your subconscious mind. And so the more you say something, Bible says, as a man thinketh, so is he. So the more you are saying words, those words are actually transformative, and they are transforming your life.
Just to be clear, affirmation is when you speak to yourself, right?
You are speaking to yourself. You're speaking out. You're saying, I am this. I am better than this.
I am excellent.
I am excellently made. I live a life of purpose. And those words, you know, words are very powerful. So as you speak the words into the atmosphere, there's something that happens and it begins to work for you.
Chapter 2, living your best life. So what did you say?
Your best
what did
life.
you say here?
There's a quote. Let me see if I can find it about when I define what living your best life is, because people think that living your best life.
Should I read that for you?
Yeah, I think you know where I'm going.
I hope I got it right, because I underlined it in my copy.
Yes.
Living your best life means living the best possible life you were created to live, and living up to your God-given potential.
Yes.
It is a life that is purpose-driven and not possession-driven.
Yes, absolutely.
That's very deep.
So yes, your best life does not mean that you live in the best house. It doesn't mean that you drive the best car. It's just that you are doing what God created you to do at any particular point in time.
That's what you mean by purpose-driven life?
That's a purpose-driven life. Purpose. You know, I was saying to them, I have a leadership program I run, and I was saying to them yesterday night that many times our purpose is greater than us. And so my purpose will motivate me. My purpose will drive me. And so some people might not be able to understand why I'm doing what I'm doing, but because I understand my purpose, it is my purpose that fuels my passion and my desires.
So instead of running after possession,
Yes.
run after purpose.
Yes.
That's deep.
Because, you know, I know a lot of people that have a lot of possessions and they're not happy. They're not fulfilled. But what will bring you joy, fulfillment, is doing what God has created you to do. Yes.
And you said you must avoid the trap of discontentment.
Oh my God, that is dangerous.
Discontentment.
Yes. Discontentment is where you're looking at your life and you're comparing yourself to somebody else. And
Drives a better car.
Yes, you are. Yeah. And you know, someone said something to me that when you are living a discontented life, that it's not really about what you have. It's about what somebody else has. That's why a person that is living in a discontented state of life, they will get a new car today, they'll be excited. But then when they see their neighbor buy a better car, they will lose the joy they had from buying a car. So it's not really about the car, it's about, you know what, why is somebody else's life, why is somebody else's life is better than me? That is the root of discontentment.
And it can be miserable. Life can be miserable if you are you're always looking at what others have, what you don't have.
Yes.
Well, I can tell you one thing for sure. I was inspired reading this.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
So hopefully there are thousands of other people.
Okay, so can I just talk about how to get this?
We've got 20 seconds. Where do I find this if I'm looking for it?
Yay! So anywhere in the world, if you go on Amazon, you can order a copy of this book. If you're in Nigeria, it's at Latana bookstores in Victoria and Lagos. And then you can just jump to my website, Matel-Okoh.com, and order, and we will get a copy to you.
Well done. Thank you very much, BMO.
Thank you so much for having me. This was so much fun.
It's great.
So much fun.
It's really been great to have you on the show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, all right.